I remember the hum of those fluorescent hospital lights. Too loud, too bright, too sterile to feel real. My daughter had just been born, or so I believed. I was walking down the corridor, holding a teddy bear I'd picked up during my lunch break, grinning like a proud idiot. That moment was supposed to be the highlight of my life. Then I heard voices, familiar ones, laughter, casual, carefree, and then words that cracked to me like thunder. He's completely clueless. At least he's good for cash. Jake, my best friend since middle school, the guy I once called a brother. He was supposed to be my daughter's godfather. Then came her voice, my wife. You two deserve to be happy. He's just a pathetic failure. And my wife, she laughed. That soft, cruel laugh. Thanks. I'll make sure we are. I didn't step forward. Not yet. I stood frozen in that sanitized hallway, fingers tightening around the teddy bear until the stitching dug into my skin. No tears. No outburst. Just a sharp turn on my heel, walking away in silence. They never noticed. That was their first mistake. Jake and I had built everything together. We were college roommates, pulling all-nighters chasing startup dreams, pitching to investors, laughing off failures. He was there when my dad passed. I still remember the grip of his hand. When he lost his job, I gave him my couch and a way forward. He toasted at my wedding, said I'd found someone who made me better. Turns out she found someone who made her richer. 3 years. That's how long they'd been sneaking around. I discovered that later. But I didn't need all the dirty details. Her laugh that day told me everything. It wasn't tinged with guilt. It was triumph. That night, I went home and stared at our wedding photo. Her smile, once my anchor, now felt like a cruel joke. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Emotion is messy. Revenge? That's precise. First, I needed confirmation. Then I'd turn their lies into ash. So I played my role. The doting new father, kissed her forehead, held the child I thought was mine, let Jake visit, smiling like the snake he was, clapping me on the back. And beneath that mask, I went to work. Her phone was step one. She'd never changed the passcode. Our wedding year. How poetic. Inside were screenshots, messages, hidden transfers, private photos. Vacation plans scheduled for after our divorce. I sent every piece to a hidden email account I'd set up in advance. Next, I hired a private investigator. Nothing shady, just thorough. It didn't take long. Jake had been embezzling money from the company we built together. My wife had helped him launder it through fake accounts. And the baby? Not mine. The DNA results landed the same day I finished transferring all our shared assets into a shell corporation under my brother's name. I rerouted our funds, froze joint accounts, and canceled her access to anything tied to me. I paid my attorney in cash, someone I knew I could trust, and drafted the divorce papers. I changed the locks, installed cameras, and planned the perfect confrontation. A week later, I invited them both over for dinner. Jake arrived first, grinning, relaxed. She came shortly after. I welcomed them with wine. Then I said it, calm and sharp. I know. They froze. I know everything. The affair, the money, the baby. Silence. Her mouth opened. No words came. Jake tried to speak. I raised my hand. That wasn't an invitation to lie. I laid a folder on the table. Photos, screenshots, transaction records, and the paternity test right on top. Her face fell apart. Jake turned ghost white. Funny thing, I said as I poured myself a drink, you both call me a failure, but I was the one footing the bill. She reached for the folder. I slid it away. I moved the company. Took the money. You're broke. That's when her mother walked in. Yes, I'd invited her too. She tried to speak. I pressed play on a recorder I'd brought. He's just a useless failure. Her voice rang out crystal clear. She turned pale. I looked at each of them. I'm filing for divorce, with cause. You get nothing. Jake stood up. You can't. I already did. I tossed the new house keys on the table. New locks. Surveillance footage. You step onto my property again, I call the cops. Then I handed him an envelope. The IRS will be in touch. I cleaned the books. You're the only one left holding the bag. He stumbled for words. She sobbed. Her mother stayed quiet. I walked past them, slow and calm. At the door, I paused and turned. You thought I'd break. You forgot who I was. It's been 6 months now. Jake's under federal investigation. She's living with her mother. I hear they argue a lot. She tried contesting the divorce, cried emotional abuse until the judge saw the evidence. She walked away with nothing, not even custody, because the child wasn't mine. When you destroy someone who loved you, there's a price to pay. I just made sure they paid in full. Sometimes I think about that hallway, that laugh, that moment where I could have walked in, demanded answers, maybe begged for honesty, but silence was cleaner. It gave them just enough rope to hang themselves. People say revenge is poison. They're wrong. It's clarity. The moment the lies quiet down and the truth stands tall. They built their lives on my shoulders. So I made sure the fall was long and brutal. And when they hit the ground, I didn't even bother to look back.